Good day, STEM students, and welcome back to Mampaisan's online classroom. Today, ito na ang last na topic natin para sa module number 10 at ito din ang ating last topic for the second quarter. Therefore, ito yung end ng pointers natin. And this is going to be all about sound. I divided this into 4 parts at ito yung part 1. Huwag kayong mag-alala, hindi naman to sobrang haba, no? So as an overview, again, sabi ko nga kanina, I divided it into 4, no? Sa waves, sound and sound propagation, properties of sound, tsaka Doppler effect. Ayan. So today, start natin with the waves. Okay, what is a wave? A wave is a moving disturbance that transports energy from one place to another without transporting matter. The motion associated with wave disturbance often has a repeating form, so wave motion has much in common with simple harmonic motion. Take note of the word often, no? Kasi hindi siya palagi. Later on, as we expound our topic about wave, makikita natin kung kailan sila pareho sa simple harmonic motion at kailan naman siya hindi pareho sa simple harmonic motion. Okay? Now, let's expound naman dun sa definition of the word wave, no? In physics. Sabi dyan, disturbance. So, to create disturbance, force must be applied. Okay? And then the goal of wave is to transport energy from one place to another without transporting matter. How is that possible? So let's say that we have a person here, let's call him Peter, no? Alam ko sa iba-iba kong klase, iba-iba naging tawag ko sa kanya. No? So maganda yan si Peter. And the goal of Peter, who is holding a rope, is to transfer his energy to point B or towards the wall. So the position, let's label the position of Peter as point A. And then again, ang kanyang goal is to transfer energy from point A to point B. Therefore, siya yung source of the energy and then the receiver of the energy is the other end or yung wall natin, no? So, syempre, kailangan i-disturb niya yung rope so that energy will be transferred towards the other end, dun papunta sa wall, ano? Ayan. So, paano niya i-apply yung kanyang force, no? It could be one rapid shake, meaning, pataas mo na tapos ibabagsak niya or ipupush niya yung rope pababa. And that will create a wave pulse, and that wave pulse will carry the energy, excuse me, to the other side of the, or dun sa other side kung saan nandun ang receiver ng ating energy, no? Ayan. So dahil sa ginawa ni Peter, hindi lang naman isang wave pulse or wave pattern ang mabubuo niya, no? Sometimes it is simple harmonic motion or it follows the simple harmonic motion kasi paulit-ulit yung mangyayari. Okay? Kaya siya tinawag na simple harmonic motion. So paano naging posible that the disturbance, because of the force, was able to transport energy from Peter towards the wall without transporting matter? Notice, ano ba yung mga matter na involved natin dito? Siyempre, si Peter, that's still matter, no? And then, yung rope natin, that is also matter. And then, the wall is also matter, right? But notice that for Peter to be able to transfer the energy towards point B, hindi siya pumunta sa point B kasi yung receiver ng ating energy. Tapos yung rope, hindi rin siya pumunta hindi siya napunta rather, doon sa point B. Meaning there was no transportation of matter. Siyempre, yung wall din naman, hindi siya nag-move, di ba? Hindi siya na-transport. So, bale, ang nangyari, dumaan lang yung ating energy sa pamamagitan ng rope natin. Okay? Siya yung naging daanan. So, matter was not transported, but energy was transported. And the transportation was because of the disturbance. Okay? So here are the types of waves or kinds of waves that we're going to include in this discussion: the mechanical, the transverse, the longitudinal, and then the periodic wave. There are actually 2 questions that can be answered using the descriptions of these kinds of waves. The first question is, what is being disturbed for wave to propagate? When we say propagate, it's synonymous to spreading out or traveling, no? Ayan. So to answer that question, we could use the kinds of waves such as, or namely, mechanical wave, and the other one is the electromagnetic wave. I won't expound further in electromagnetic because that's a separate topic in general physics too, no? So ano ba nadi-disturb when the wave is mechanical? It is a medium. The plural is media, and medium is a material or a substance where the wave was or will pass through. It can either be solid, liquid, or gas. So hindi lang solid ang pwedeng maging medium. Liquids and gases can also be media, no? And one particular characteristic of a mechanical wave is that it cannot travel in vacuum. What's a vacuum? Vacuum is empty space, meaning almost nothing, almost no matter, no particle of matter in this type of space. Okay, take note of the adjective empty. Okay, and one example of an empty space, naturally occurring empty space or vacuum, is the outer space. Sobrang konti na air particles or gas particles na present doon, no? At syempre, wala namang mga nagliparan ng mga solid-solid doon. Kung meron man, sobrang konti, no? So we consider that as a naturally occurring vacuum, no? And then, electromagnetic wave naman, when electromagnetic wave is produced, the one that is being disturbed is the electric and magnetic fields. They fluctuate so that electromagnetic wave will be able to propagate or spread out. EM wave or electromagnetic wave is also known as the opposite, or somehow it can be considered as the opposite of mechanical wave because it does not require any matter between the source and the receiver for it to be able to transfer energy. And another characteristic that makes it opposite or an opposite of mechanical wave is that it can travel in vacuum. One example of mechanical wave is sound wave. Ayan, yung magiging focus natin later on. And one example of electromagnetic wave is light. Notice na sa outer space, sound cannot travel because it's considered to be vacuum, no? Ayan. However, yung light, which is an example of electromagnetic wave, can still travel. Notice that a sun as a source of light can still transfer its light towards the Earth or any other planets even if the outer space is a vacuum, no? Kaya, ayun yung pinagkaiba nila, na? Ayan. Move on na tayo. The second question, how is a medium disturbed when waves propagate? We have three types here. The first one is transverse wave. In transverse waves, the motion of the medium is perpendicular to the direction of the propagation of the wave. I have here two anong tawag dito? Two GIFs. So, wherein one, we use the spring to illustrate the movement of transverse wave. Tapos naman, the one below illustrates to us how the particles are moving when the wave is transverse. Bakit sinabing perpendicular? Because, again, the wave travels from point A to point B. And that is in a direction that is rightward as we see in the screen or on the screen, no? And then notice that the particles of the wave, ay the medium, is actually going up and down. Ayan. Up and down. And since the movement of the particles is up and down, tapos the movement of the wave itself is horizontal, the angle between them is 90 degrees. And when two arrow representations form 90 degrees, they are perpendicular to each other. Here are the parts of transverse wave. First one is amplitude, and then we have wavelength, crest, trough, and crestolet. Ayan. And the other one na hindi nilabel dito is the equilibrium position, EP. Ayan. Equilibrium position, let's define it first. It's the position of the medium when the disturbance is not yet occurring. Meaning, katulad dun sa rope analysis natin or analogy natin, no? Kanina yung hawak ni Peter, nung hindi pa nade-disturb or hindi pa siya nag-apply ng force sa rope, the rope is just horizontally placed. Now, once disturbance occur, the wave will show, the shape of the wave will be shown, no? Ayan. And then, ayan, we need the equilibrium position for us to be able to define the amplitude. Okay? But first, let's define crest muna and trough. When we say crest, that's the highest point of a transverse wave, and then the trough is the lowest point of a transverse wave. Amplitude can be defined in terms of the crest or in terms of the trough. In terms of the crest, amplitude is defined as the distance from the equilibrium position towards the crest, or in terms of the trough naman, it's the distance between the equilibrium position and the trough. Okay, and then we have here the last part that we did not discuss yet, the wavelength. The wavelength can also be defined in terms of the crest or in terms of the trough. In terms of the crest, wavelength is defined as the distance between two consecutive crests. Tapos sa trough naman, extend natin to para dalawa yung maging trough niya, no? Ayan. Ito, wavelength din to. And based from here, we could also define wavelength as the distance between two consecutive troughs. Okay? Ayan, let's move on to longitudinal. In longitudinal waves, the motion of the medium is parallel to the direction of the propagation of the wave. Notice, may dalawa ulit tayong illustration wherein we have the spring illustration and then we have the particle illustration, no? Ayan. So, ang itsura ng particles ng longitudinal wave, ganyan siya. May times na nagdidikit-dikit sila sa isa't isa, may times naman na hiwa-hiwalay sila, no? So, bakit sinabi that the movement of the medium is parallel to the direction of propagation? The direction of propagation for longitudinal wave is the same as the direction of propagation for transverse wave. That's from point A to point B. So, galing sa source ng disturbance, papunta sa receiver ng energy. Now, notice that the particles, dito man sa particle illustration or dito sa medium or spring illustration, ang direction pa rin ng ating medium is from A to B. And notice, kapag ganyan ang orientation of two arrow representations, they are considered to be parallel to each other. Now, just like transverse wave, longitudinal wave also has parts, okay? So, due to the force or the disturbance, let's say, ito na naman ulit ang ating character na si Peter, and this time, hindi na rope yung hawak niya, kundi spring. And this time, instead of exerting a rapid up and down movement, ang ginawa niya ay forward, backward na movement. Diba ganyan ang ginagawa natin pag hinihila natin? Hila, tulak, hila, tulak. So, ganun ang ginawa niya. And because of that, he was able to create tighter coils sa ating spring at meron naman ding looser coils. Okay? The tighter coils, we call that as compression, and then the looser coils, we call that as rarefaction. Letter A to ha. Ayan. R-A-R-E, tas faction, hindi fraction ha. Okay. Now, just like transverse wave, longitudinal wave also has wavelength. How do we measure the wavelength or how we define the wavelength for a longitudinal wave? A wavelength in a longitudinal wave can be defined using the compression or the tighter coils, and it can also be defined using the looser coils or the rarefaction. When we base the definition on compression, wavelength is defined as the distance between the midpoints of two consecutive compressions, and then in terms of the rarefaction naman, it is defined as the distance between the midpoints of two consecutive rarefactions. And then the last type that answers the question, how is the medium pala, no? Narito na ako sa grammar. How is the medium disturbed? For when waves propagate, no? The last one is periodic wave. Notice na kamukha lang din naman siya ng transverse. So, bakit hiniwalay pa siya, no? So, ganito yung rule natin. Pwedeng the periodic wave can be transverse, but not because the wave is transverse, it is already periodic. Halimbawa, sa totoong buhay, yung rope ni Peter kanina, hindi naman ganito magiging shape nun, no? Pag trinay mo yan sa bahay, hindi pantay-pantay ang kanyang wave. Okay? May times na iikli yung liliit yung wave and stuff like that, diba? So, dito, yung wavelength ito, tapos pangalawang wavelength. So, nag-iiba-iba yung wavelength niya. Diba? Ayan. Nag-iiba-iba rin yung amplitude niya. Kapag periodic yung wave, there is repeat time and repeat distance. Anong ibig sabihin nun? When wave is periodic, all the amplitudes are equal in length. Ayan, notice mo yan. Kaya siya tinawag na repeat distance kasi paulit-ulit yung kanyang nagagawang amplitude. Tapos, paulit-ulit din yung nakukuha niyang wavelength. At this one is the Greek letter lambda. And this is the symbol for wavelength. Wavelength. So, for periodic wave, ayan, pare-pareho yung kanyang mga magiging lambda. Kahit ituloy-tuloy mo yan siya dyan hanggang sa dulo, pare-pareho yung wavelength, tapos pare-pareho yung amplitude. And then yung repeat time naman means, for example, it took the wave 1 second to create one wavelength. Yung susunod na wavelength, 1 second ulit yung kanyang igugugol to create such wavelength and so on. Puro uniform yung time na nagugugol niya or the time spent for the wavelengths to be created. Okay? Kaya siya repeat time and repeat distance. Ngayon, kapag transverse, pwede ito maging transverse, no? Pero hindi porke transverse, periodic agad. Kasi ito pwede to. Tingnan mo, hindi naman yan pare-pareho ng amplitude, hindi rin pare-pareho ng wavelength. Okay? Ayan. So, a periodic wave can be characterized by the speed of a wave. We know naman that speed is distance over time, although this one is not applicable in periodic wave. Wag natin yan isama, no? It just tells us that the distance for periodic wave is the wavelength, and then the time for periodic wave when we solve for it is the period. Okay? So here in periodic motion, we define period as the time it takes to complete one cycle or one oscillation. Here in periodic wave, we define period as the time it takes to complete one wavelength. And then we have two versions for it, version 1 and then version 2, which tells us that if the problem gives you the wavelength and the period, you will use this first version to solve for the speed of wave. If the problem gives you the frequency and the wavelength, you will use version number 2 to solve for the speed of the wave. Now, on your own, kindly use version number 2 of the equation for the speed of the wave to solve for the missing in each of the parts of this table, no? By the way, the standard unit for wavelength is meter kasi nga siya ay equivalent ng distance. Ayan. Thank you for Slides Go kasi sila yung original na gumawa nitong template for this PowerPoint presentation. Template lang, ha? Okay. Ayan. Thank you for listening and see you again sa part 2 ng ating discussion about sound and waves. Waves and sound pala yun. That's all. Bye-bye.